Oh, I got some sleep last night. I love that feeling. I just got some, it's nothing better than, and I didn't sleep long, Steve. I slept, I'm going to say 6.5 hours, but I did not get up to take the leak.
Oh, that's the catch.
That's the catch,
that's
because
everything.
normally if you sleep 7 hours or 7.5 hours, there's definitely a leak after 4 hours for a middle-aged man like yourself. But I had a 6+ without the leak, which is amazing.
Beautiful, just beautiful.
I sorry to start on such a personal note, and good morning. Welcome to Morning Mike's. It is a Thursday, and if you know me, you know I love a Thursday. It's ladies' night in America, and this little lady right here gets very excited about it. I like to go out. Guess what I'm doing for ladies' night? I'm going to the Los Angeles Kings game tonight, right? My two worlds are colliding here. The New York Islanders are in town. And my one of my best friends in life, I think you all have heard about Xander. Well, Xander's coming up. We grew up, by the way, Xander is, oh man, I wish we should do a special Morning Mike's on Friday because of Xander. Xander was bullied by Fat Allie.
Oh.
Just like me. I told you the story of Fat Allie, the neighborhood bully. Holy mackerel. Xander was terrified of Fat Allie, too. We grew up as little kids. We've known each other since we were one. We're both hockey nuts. And so we're going to the game tonight. He's driving up from San Diego, where he's living for the winter. He's a Vermont guy. And his wife said, if you make me live here for an entire winter again without any breaks, I'm leaving you. And he's like, oh, okay, babe. And so they moved, and he set up. I think he's going to do this for the rest of his life. He can work remote. So he rented a little something in San Diego. Anyway, we're going to the game. Good morning, everybody. What's happening? Let's take a look at, let's go around the, Xander. Yeah, no. The only other Xanders from Cheap Trick. Xander's, guess who Xander's girlfriend was? All senior year in New York City. First major boyfriend for her. Gwyneth Paltrow. Let that land. Gwyneth Paltrow's first major boyfriend. She went to the Spence School, and he went to a school called Browning in New York.
Do they still talk? Like at all?
No,
I mean,
they don't stay in touch.
Nothing.
I mean, no. But I love to remind Gwyneth about it in every interview. But I haven't talked to her in years. And when I do, I'll bring up Xander again. Okay. What's going on with these new graphics here for the did StreamYard do this, or did we do this?
No, this was StreamYard, and I'm surprised.
They were. Look at this, Lisa. Look at Lisa's got her face up, and her model shots are up. Granny Debbie GM. Boom.
No, I'm like, I look at the thing, trying. I'm like, what just happened with the graphics?
For those listening on audio alone, we have graphics that are popping up. We use an app called StreamYard in order to get the comment section firing and to use all of our elements here. It's perfect for what we do. And they've got, they were way overdue for an update. And now we get to post people's comments with their blown up profile picture. It's so sexy. Lisa, look at you. I never really got to focus. Hey, why is my voice up here? Let's get into, we've got a whole, we're running the gamut today. And by the way, remember, I've been talked to about my developing Trump derangement syndrome, so I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to give you got to go back to, I lost sight. I'm going to say that. I lost sight of my radical centrism. I started going like crazy. I'm almost like, I started to lose my mind. And that's what he does to you. So I'm just not going to do it. He does that. He dysregulates people.
So you call it he takes space in our mind.
Yeah. The people who fired me 10 years ago lost their minds and said, let's take it out on Billy Bush. They're going crazy. Now, let's begin with what's going on in Iran, okay? Because it's important. We got to stay up on this. First, how does this affect people in the region? Just regular people trying to get the hell out of there. The travel situation is screwed. Stranded passengers all over the Middle East starting to leave the region. The first U.S. facilitated charter flight of Americans left the Middle East yesterday. And quote, additional flights will be arranged throughout the region, according to the State Department. But there are emotional scenes of reunions at airports all over the world. It shows kind of the anxiety that families have been feeling over this last several days, right? The latest also, the war is spreading. 2 Iranian drones just fell into Azerbaijan. You say Azerbaijan, why does that sound familiar? Oh, they're members of the Board of Peace, Azerbaijan. So I don't know. I don't think the Board of Peace shares a NATO doctrine that an attack on one is an attack on all. But Azerbaijan is one of like 32 countries on the Board of Peace. 2 Iranian drones fell there. More Iranian strikes reported in Israel and Iraq, Britain and France. Now, this is interesting. They are sending ships and planes to defend their citizens and their interests in the Middle East, which is kind of how this began for us, right? According to Marco Rubio, Israel was going to do this anyway, and we had to go and join them in order to protect our citizens and interests in the Middle East. So now here comes Britain and France, which to me is an encouraging thing. The U.S. sunk an Iranian warship, a big one, off the coast of Sri Lanka. And then I told you before yesterday that NATO forces intercepted an Iranian missile headed for Turkey, which, of course, invites that NATO doctrine. An attack on one is an attack on all. Turkey is part of NATO. Was that missile headed towards them? They knocked that baby down. Does that engage everyone else in NATO? Again, to me, sorry, that would be good, because I remember the first Gulf War with, George H.W. Bush was able to get the approval of the UN Security Council and unanimous approval from the entire Security Council, including Russia and China. Holy mackerel. Pete Hegseth. He's a bellicose man, Pete. Pete, the defense secretary, said American and Israeli warplanes would soon gain total control of Iranian airspace, allowing them to deliver, quote, death and destruction from the sky all day long. Pete, do we need to talk like that? Doesn't that sound Iranian? Doesn't that sound like the Islamic Revolutionary Guard to you? We will deliver death and destruction from the... Pete, I think we just want to elevate a little bit more. I think Pete's really excited about, bombs exploding. I don't think we're looking to deliver death and destruction from the sky all day long. With due respect, Pete, I think we're trying to dismantle a nuclear program to protect our citizens. I'm just going to go with that. And maybe something, reflective of that in your next public comment. Okay, across the board, you can't avoid it. A majority of Americans, 59%, oppose military action in Iran. I've seen polls that say 60%. I've seen 62. This is 59. And maybe it's trending in the right direction for the administration because, maybe people see that it could be effective. I don't know. But the Senate yesterday, they rejected the War Powers Act, 47-53. It was put forward by the Democrats that they would have congressional approval for any further action in Iran. And the Republicans led the way and shot that down, 53-47. What's interesting, that's the party line. But each party got a defector. John Fetterman, the sweatshirt-wearing senator from Pennsylvania, he joined the Republicans. And Rand Paul, who hates Trump and hates, any type of engagement overseas, he joined the Democrats. So it stayed what looks like a party line vote, 53-47. I have to say, I if I was in the Senate, I would have voted to reject it too, because we're over there. We're engaged. Our people are, you can't pull out now. I mean, every one of them signaled, I'm not sure I would have done this. I would have liked a little warning. And Trump was telling people for weeks, something could go down in Iran. And I think the Senate just missed their opportunity to call hearings and say, and engage him and say, you need to let us know what's going on. And so the Senate failed on that. And I think to try and pull out now would be a disaster. So I would have voted that way too. Let's talk about the end game. Like the end game. What are the possible outcomes here? One, decimate Iran's nuclear capabilities. I guess I would say again, because I think we said we did that back in June. But decimate their nuclear capabilities and say mission accomplished. Okay. Or decimate their nuclear capabilities and get a public commitment from Iran to end their proxy wars and stop effing with people all over the place and cut this bullshit out with Hezbollah and Hamas and all this stuff. A public commitment to that would be amazing. I think they can get that. The third and final coup de grace, the ultimate package, the platinum package, let's say, would be no nuclear capabilities, end all these proxy wars, all their influence in the region, and regime change. But regime change is not likely. The opposition forces in Iran are not organized, and they're too scattered. And ideologically, there is no cohesion. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard and the military separate, but they are all, it's cohesive. So I think that regime stays in power, and that's just going to happen. And I think this goes on for weeks, although Polymarket, which is now something we check every day, because Polymarket is where people, you can see where people are they're betting money, playing the odds, but it shows you what they're thinking. And Polymarket said right now, 65% of people in favor, saying there will be boots on the ground before the end of the year. I think that's money I would take on the opposite side. I don't think there's any way Trump's putting boots on the ground, and I don't think he'll be talked into it. I mean, he's reversed a lot, but I just don't think there's no stomach for that here in this country. But they are hammering those missile sites, and it's unbelievable what's happening. So I like to read Pirate Wires in the morning. These are right-wing guys. They are super right-wing guys. And I read MSN. I read everything. But these guys they do it with a sense of humor, which I like. We need that. Evan Malenko or Majenko, whatever his name is, says, folks, as part of my responsibilities as chief war correspondent here at Pirate Wires, a title that our boss said absolutely no to. I will block your email if you send me another one of those bullshit requests, my boss said. But anyway, it is my duty to report on how the ongoing Iran conflict is playing out on social media. Think about this. One of the front lines of modern warfare, social media, were Iranian Americans celebrating the death of the Ayatollah Khamenei, are now being likened to prostitutes. Has anybody noticed that the Iranian women celebrating videos are all of women that are dressed like hookers? Think about it. And by the way, they're pulling these down in some, but it's true. Have you seen all these AI generated videos and all these things? Women are celebrating the streets with like Iranian like bikinis on and thought like we're free and everything, but we're like instantly like hookerizing them instead of like women out at the park with their children, with their hair, showing and their hijabs off and all this stuff, and like just having a beautiful day with their family. We have to have them in thongs, sweating on poles. You know what I mean? It's interesting. We hookerize immediately. These are not connected. But I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but Kristi Noem, the secretary of the Department of, she's the Department of Homeland Security. Kristi Noem was grilled by the House Judiciary Committee over whether or not she had a sexual relationship with her underling, official title, senior advisor to the Secretary of Homeland Security. or otherwise known as a special government employee. And the question from one of the sitting Congress people was, how special is this special government employee, Corey Lewandowski, former campaign chair for Trump?
Who had sexual relations with Corey Lewandowski?
Mr. Chairman, I am shocked that we're going down and peddling tabloid garbage in this committee today.
Reclaiming
and
my
ma'am,
time.
one thing that I would tell you is that he is a special government employee who works for the White House. There are thousands of them in the federal government.
So reclaiming
and
my
is an
time,
advisor
Secretary, it is
and has
okay for
no,
you to be
no
offended
authority
by
to
the
be
question.
making any
It is
decisions.
okay for you to
has
be
no
offended
authority
by the
to
question.
be making
But it is
decisions
also
and
a
putting
real
up your
question.
position. So what I would say
And
to
you should be able to
is
answer
that
the
what we do at the
question
Department of Homeland
clearly
Security every single
and without
day,
any hesitation.
every single day is to protect
If
this
someone
country
is
and
asking
to make
if
decisions.
you or any federal official is sleeping
ha-
with their subordinate, that should
I
be
have-
the easiest. You should be wanting to answer that question.
The guy
Because
here
it is
I want to give you an opportunity to answer on the record to Ms. Kamlager-Dove's question. I know you said it's garbage, and it may be, but I really think you need to say the word no into the record so that you can clear that up.
I think the ridiculousness of this and the tabloids that you are quoting and referencing are insane.
She is
And
not
this
going to
has
answer
been
this.
So that's a no?
Something that I've refuted
Is
for
that a no?
years, and I continue to do that.
So it's a
what
no.
I would tell you is
We
when
can move
in
on.
regards
Hold
to
on.
what you're
Madam Senator,
doing,
we can move on. I'm not going to belabor it. If it's
it-
a,
Just say no.
this is what you do.
Hold on, I'm not-
Socialist,
I'm not doing anything.
Liberal left.
Okay.
Is you
This
go
is the
off
move.
and you
I-
attack
I was-
conservative women.
What do you guys
and
think
you
about
say
this?
that we're either stupid
I haven't
or
said
we're
anything.
sluts.
All right, so
It's
listen.
the
That's what you
liberal
do.
left.
Yes,
If they were stupid or were sluts, I mean, is that obfuscating? What is that? Is it fair? Is it okay to do that? You may not like Kristi Noem, but I mean, is it okay to sit there and ask, and hammer her over whether she's had an affair with Corey Lewandowski, who is I don't think he's a moral beacon in this world. He's a Corey Lewandowski, by the way, he loves to screw people on the campaign. He loves it because I think it just occurred to me he used to date Hope. I think allegedly, I believe, but Hope Hicks was a communications director in the first Trump administration. I believe they got together. But Lewandowski loves the action. And I will say this, a lot of men, here's what I hear, like in quiet, people think that Kristi Noem is kind of attractive in a certain type of like done up way. But I don't know. It went on. Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, railed on her as well for her cozy relationship with Lewandowski, or what they perceive to be. And guess what? This one is crazy because Kristi Noem's husband is sitting right there. Awkward.
Heard about an airborne episode of entitlement, arrogance, and contempt that I could hardly believe. Apparently, when your special blanket, your blankie, was left on one of the government jets and not transported over to the new one, your special government employee, Corey Lewandowski, chivalrously stepped forward to fire the pilot midair, a 2003 Coast Guard Academy graduate and distinguished U.S. Coast Guard commander in Air Station, Washington, D.C. But then he had to be rehired immediately because there was no one else who could fly the two of you on the rest of the journey back home.
Wow. They're on one. I mean, she has so many government jets and they've ordered more jets. And these people are living on the fat of the land, baby. That is true, and it's annoying, but there she is on a government plane, just her and Lewandowski alone. We're paying for that. As the military forgot to move her blanket, her special blankie, from one plane to the other, and Corey fired the pilot for it. Who the fuck is he to fire anybody? Oh, my God. I don't know, but do you think that this is OB? Is this out of bounds? Or do we have a right to know? And they should be hammering her exactly on this issue. Yeah, what we are doing in the government daily is crazy, says Mary. It is a known fact. Time to come clean. On a plane with a bed, no doubt. Eggplant emoji. Amy, look at you. It's so funny. Bananas. It's all bananas and eggplants. Yeah. Let's see. What are people saying? Did it have DNA on it? Oh my God. First time on the chat. Love from New Zealand. Hey, hey, puff sleeve kind of girl. What's going on? Welcome. I don't know. Do you think that the question is this out of bounds to hammer Kristi Noem on this? Or does it, all of this reflect her decision making? You know what I mean? There's the Homeland Security's got this giantly inflated budget, which they keep fighting over. But there's a lot of evidence of she spent $220 million on an ad campaign to support recruiting for ICE, and spent $220 million on the ad campaign. And it went to a company that was incorporated 11 days before the ad campaign started, and it was run by the husband of a former press secretary. Like, there's a lot of insular sort of incestuous trading of money, and this House Judiciary Committee is trying to track down every dollar. And of course, they're getting personal. You see the husband there? He's sitting over her shoulder. He's stone-faced. Kristi Noem has been married to that guy. I think his name is Blake Noem or something like that. Anyway, been married to him. They're high school sweethearts. They got married when she was 20. She's 53 or 54. I think she's exactly my age, 54. She is a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 4. Now, let's just be honest. Grandmothers should not be flying the friendly skies, okay? You should not be mile high clubbing with Corey Lewandowski or anyone else.
No,
That's not true.
The husband's name's Brian.
Brian.
Yeah, and along with the flight thing, Cash Patel's there's also all this stuff with Cash Patel and the girlfriend taking the flight too. The girlfriend.
Cash Patel's young. His girlfriend's 27 years old.
Yeah,
and he's 45, and he's without that plane, he's not getting her. I mean, if you see, she's a very sexy, sort of young, like TikTok, influencer, hot girl. And Cash Patel, cross-eyed Cash is not getting that action without the government planes and all of that. So, if you really want to hurt him, take away the jets for the private travel, which I can't believe Congress hasn't done. Okay, so are we always tougher on women? Or in this case, are the women just nuts like Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi? Pam has been subpoenaed by the House Oversight Committee as to whether she has released all of the Epstein files or not. This is crazy because Iran is going on, but the House Oversight Committee has not lost its focus on Epstein, and they're being very bipartisan about it. They dragged Hillary and Bill Clinton in front of the committee, but now Representative Nancy Mace, who is a Republican from South Carolina, posted yesterday, "We still don't have the full truth. Videos are missing, audio is missing, logs are missing. There are millions more documents out there. We want to know why the DOJ is more focused on shielding the powerful than delivering justice. The American people deserve answers. Victims deserve justice. Hold the line." Okay. So we'll see if Pam Bondi, she likes to, she's always entertaining television when she's testifying, right? Because she puts the testy in testifying. That's for sure. Moving on, away from all of this, what's happening in politics in our world too is Jim Carrey totally messing with us, right? We got into this yesterday. We had a really funny guest on Hot Mics yesterday, Heather Shaw, who is a Jim Carrey lookalike. She's a lesbian woman. I guess you have to be a woman if you're a lesbian. That was redundant. She's a lesbian who looks exactly like Jim Carrey, and her stand-up comedy includes a little bit of Jim Carrey's daughter, long-lost daughter act. It's funny, but the rest of her is funny too. And we got talking, is Jim Carrey screwing with all of us? Let's take a look at this photo here. There's Jim at the César Awards. It looks like Jim. And then this guy, Jake the Great, or whatever his name is, posts yesterday, haha, Jim Carrey here with me in New Zealand while all this is going on. Way to go, Jim. I think that's an old photo because look at the hair. It's not long. This guy just found a photo of Jim Carrey, but it does highlight the question. What is going on? I think the answer is simple. I've come to my conclusion and I'm prepared to put this thing to bed. Jim had a little bad needle. He had a bad needle situation like many people. Bradley, he thought he was ready to come out, and it's true, it hadn't fully settled yet. Remember when Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, got his facelift? When he got his facelift at the beginning, it was like, oh, holy, it was horrible. But it's settled over the years, and now it's kind of in there. And I think that's as time goes on, Jim's might settle in too and be okay. Billy, just look at this. Here's an interesting, okay. Billy, just go watch The Truman Show and then go watch Horton Hears a Who. Okay. Those are the two. That would show us the vast change. Anyway, here's what else is going on. Trump is a very busy man while we've got the war in Iran. He's still busy as a little bee over here. Yesterday was the White House roundtable. This is kind of interesting and I think smart of the president. He unveiled the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. He got together with 7 major technology companies, all the same people that are terrified of him. You know, Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg and all the big 7 tech guys, Sam Altman. And he got all of these companies, they pledged to build or buy the vast amount of electricity that they need to power data centers, because people in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, in Northern Virginia, where a lot of these data centers are going, are noticing their electricity bills are going up. But anyway, there's a pledge by all these companies to basically build their own or pay more for it than the rest of us, because, you know, obviously we need increased infrastructure to power the grid that fuels these data centers. And companies, they all pledge to pay a different rate for their electricity than a regular consumer. And that was part of the agreement. So I think that, you know, while all this is going on in Iran, that was a big one. And remember, as the midterm elections approach, affordability is going to be high on the agenda. And this would be steps toward that. But let's get to what the president really cares about. And that is the ballroom, right? He loves the ballroom. Final approval is looming from a government commission that oversees planning for federal buildings and land in the nation's capital. Despite receiving over 32,000 public comments overwhelmingly opposing the construction. There it is. You can oppose the construction, but it is well underway. The National Capital Planning Commission, the NCPC, is expected to take a final vote today to approve plans for the ballroom. It's happening. He's not waiting for you to approve your final vote. He's blown. This is not going to, what happens if they say, you know what? No, we don't approve. What are you going to do? Oh, fill the ground back in? No. He's building this shit whether you like it or not. Anyway, the final vote, which will happen because everyone on the commission was put there by him. So this is all just a big dance. And then it will fast track the East Wing Ballroom, which is coming. So approval by the NCPC means that any further attempt to halt construction is going to require intervention from the courts, which is not happening. The ballroom is happening. There's too much else to fight him on. He's getting the ballroom. Don't waste your energy with the ballroom. It's going to be big. It's going to be gaudy. And the Russians are going to love it. Okay? When they come and they visit, everyone's going to love it. Now, this is my favorite piece of news from the day. McDonald's versus Burger King. Tell me you know what I'm talking about.
I'm so excited for this, Billy. I'm so happy you're excited.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. McDonald's benefits from the most powerful man in the world is your unpaid spokesperson. I'm surprised Trump hasn't gone to McDonald's and said, you owe me. I am constantly out there eating your food, and pictures of me on Air Force One eating McDonald's, pictures of me. Burger King doesn't get the U.S. hockey team after winning gold at the Olympics sitting around a boardroom at the White House eating McDonald's. Only McDonald's gets that. So what do you do when you have all this free marketing and free advertising? You self-sabotage. That's what you do. Chris Kempczynski, is that his name? Kempczynski. Chris Kempczynski, he's like a gummy worm of a man, CEO of McDonald's, decided that McDonald's has this new thing called the Big Arch. It's a big arch. It's like a Big Mac, but it's called a Big Arch. And they needed a new name. And somebody was like, wow, we've never used arch in the title. Let's try this. Because innovation is so much part of the game, keeping people's interest. So this guy decides to post up, the CEO of the company decides to post up that he's eating the Big Arch, and check it out. This is the best thing ever. Kind of blew up in his face.
You've heard about it. Here it is, the Big Arch. This is something that we have tested already in Portugal, Germany, Canada. I love this product. It is so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So
hang on for a second. Wait till you see the bite this guy takes. I'm going to take a bite of the Big Arch. It's so exciting. I just love it. I'm so excited. Okay, come on, Chris. Let's see it.
Here we go. First, holy cow. God,
holy cow. Yeah, it does come from a cow. I think, Chris, right? Wink, wink.
It's a big burger. We've got a very unique kind of sesame poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2 quarter-pound patties, a delicious.
He's seeing this for the first time. He has no idea what's going on here. Okay. We have a cardboard box, and we have some lettuce in here.
Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this thing. I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much.
Yeah, because you've never held a burger in your hand before. And when you did, it was a Beyond Burger, Chris, right? It was your vegan patty. Or was it a Tofuger? Here we go.
Much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth.
Come on, big guy.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch.
Big bite?
It's distinctive.
That's a nibble. That's a nibble, you little pipsqueak.
That's a big bite for a Big Arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness, but those crispy onions as well gives a nice texture. And of course, we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch.
No,
but
you're not.
Big Arch,
try
it when you can get it.
Stop on the record. Stop recording me, and I will throw the rest of this Big Arch in the trash can. This guy reads the calorie labels on fruit. Out in LA, they call it the chew and spit diet. You know what I mean? Like people who just like are trying to starve themselves and get sexy to fit into their dress for whatever event it is. You know, they'll like have a bite of pizza and then get the flavor and then spit it out into the trash can. So you just get the juices and the sense, but you don't intake all the calories. Ugh, so psychotic. Anyway, you're Burger King and you're watching all of this, right? You get killed in natural marketing, organic marketing by McDonald's every day. I haven't seen Burger King make noise it just happened to be across the street from McDonald's, right? I don't think they've ever had great marketing, but they were not asleep at the wheel here. They were paying attention, and they noticed, you know what? We actually have a manly man as our CEO. This little guy over here, I mean, if there's a woman in the world that wants to shack up with old Chris over here. Well, he's probably he's a little manlier standing on that wallet, I assume. He's a very, very rich man. But, I mean, that dude's never had a burger in his life. Tom Curtis, CEO of Burger King. He's like, oh, yeah? Let's go. Now that's a bite.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Only one thing missing.
Here.
A napkin.
Yeah. All I need is a napkin. Look at this big Val Kilmer looking like, huge bite of his Burger King Whopper.
Not bad, right?
Only one thing missing.
Yeah.
A napkin.
Yeah. Now that's a man. Chris Kempczynski versus Tom Curtis. And it's an absolute knockout in the first round by Tom Curtis. Way to go.
It really is like a knockout because they also got to the point. They're like, you know what? This can be 10 seconds long also.
Yeah.
Boom.
You know what? I was waiting for Joy to say it, and she did. He's good looking. I mean, if you had to play a game of just one-on-one, would you? Between the CEO of McDonald's and the CEO of Burger King. I think the CEO of Burger King, Tom Curtis, wins that 10 out of 10 times, 20 out of 20. It's a runaway. I don't think there's anybody in America who would say, you know what, I'd have a one-night stand with Chris from McDonald's over Tom. Tom's a stud. Burger King CEO's good look. He's got a big Whopper. You don't know that. And that's way over. That's out of bounds right there. Oh, my God. You don't know that. Who's got a big arch and who's got a big Whopper and all that stuff. That's that. And by the way, that's not important. Does he know how to use the Whopper? Okay. Flame grilling. It's always a good sell, flame grilling. Anyway, you know what? I think I'm going to try a Burger King. I haven't been to Burger King in ever. Maybe a couple times when I was a kid, but I would say it's been 20 years.
When I was a kid, we were the crazy family that Burger King, like our parents were like, we're going to Burger King. We're Burger King people. I don't know. I realized later it was
It's a special kind of person. That's a Burger King person. Yeah. And your family was a Burger King family. Check this out. By the way, while we're talking Burger King, they're piloting an AI chatbot named Patty. Now, this is weird, okay? Patty is an AI chatbot that will be embedded in employees' headsets. And it gives them orders and monitors whether or not they're saying please or thank you to the customers. Now, that is a little on the cringy side, right? That there's, remember to say please, remember to say thank you. That is a little controlling. It's a little big brother, but it does tell you we are in a crazy AI bubble here. That said, who hasn't gone face to face with a rude fast food cashier? Who's had enough of your shit before you even open your mouth. You ask for an extra ketchup and it's like, you've personally offended them. I don't know. So now you got an AI chatbot that's policing etiquette.
Billy, I have a huge pet peeve. Anybody that's been in a car with me in a drive-thru knows this pet peeve, and maybe it's because we're just getting old. But when I go up to the drive-thru, I say, how are you today? And if the person responds, would you like a Coke with your meal? Or there's no response to how are you today? It's instantly 885.
Steve, I disagree. I disagree. And I think you should drop that standard for people. They have 1,000 people coming through every single day. They're having the same conversation. Hi, can I help you? Whatever it is. To stay at all, then you want to have a conversation. Hi, how are you? And have an interaction. That's exhausting to them. If I'm on the other side and everybody does that to me, I'm like, fuck off. I'm what do you mean? I'm just trying to get through the day. No, Steve, you're trying to get, you want special treatment. No,
I just want to say,
you know what? You're a number. No, you're a number, Steve. You're a number. You're 84 of the day. You're 106. No, I stand with whoever's on the other side. Don't engage me in
too, but
no, that's you wanting your own interaction. Like, hey, how are you today? Like, fuck off, guy. Order your food and get out of here. It's transactional. There's no more to the relationship than that. I just shut down Steve and defended.
I totally disagree with it.
Okay. Yeah, of course you disagree, because for some reason you're not getting enough interaction elsewhere in your life that you
I'm not
need
looking
to
for a
have
huge
interaction with the
conversation.
drive-thru
I'm
lady.
just looking to listen, or even if it's a conversation, say, yes, could I get ketchup with that? And you don't even hear that it's.
Okay, now you're downgrading it though. But you said, "Hi, how are you?" That's not have
I'm just
anything to
saying
do with why
any
you're there.
Interaction beyond just a programmed response.
I think this is our first public fight. Okay. Let's talk about what you need after a Billy's wrong. Oh, Steve, you have support here. Billy is wrong. Did you see the video of John McEnroe coming through the airport in Australia? No. I don't have. No, we don't have it. I'm just saying John McEnroe is running this fan is like, "Can I take a picture of Mr. McEnroe?" And he's like, "Get out of my way." You know, he's not polite to the guy, but I think the video's unfair. There must be more to it. Like he's one of those like stalker autograph people that follows John wherever he goes. And John's like, "Get the fuck away from me." And he wouldn't even, I mean, the guy would not get away from him. So he was definitely trying to get a response, but McEnroe's kind of getting killed because people are only seeing a young guy trying to get a picture and McEnroe's so mean to him. There's more to the story. And it's similar to what we were just talking about. Ozempic. God, have you tried the GLP-1, the little jab? They call it the jab in the... I got this tire and I don't know what to do about it. You know, this is, it's there. I hate to have, that's basic nudity. I just performed on our show here, but my dad calls it Dunlop's disease. When the belly Dunlop over the belt, and it's the spare tire, and it's a little, the rest of the program is sort of put together okay, but that tire, teeny little tire there, I mean, at 54. So the thing about the Ozempic or the Wegovy or the Mounjaro or the Zepbound is I think it atrophies the muscles a little bit too, right? And it definitely sucks in the face. But the health benefits are coming out, and it's kind of keeps trending in favor of the GLP-1. It's approved for diabetes and obesity, but millions of Americans are doing it. And by acting on both the gut, Billy, you don't have dicky-do disease, do you? Your stomach does stick out farther than your dicky-do, so you are good. I know the dicky-do. If your stomach sticks out further than your dicky-do, then you got a problem. Yeah. The opposite of that is the old Dolly Parton joke. What's this? Dolly Parton hiding behind a tree.
Really, you really do have a joke for, how do you have all these jokes in your head?
Joke for every occasion. So anyway, by acting on both the gut and the brain to regulate digestion, insulin, appetite, they're obviously helping to curb cravings. But now people are taking GLP-1s. It's starting to help with things like substance use disorder. People want to drink less. They don't want to smoke. Things like this. These are, outcomes that reduce hospitalization and overdoses and things like that. So new doors are opening for GLP-1s. So there you go. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to everyone wants to slim down a little bit. Which leads me to Demi Moore is less. More is less. A lot of people are concerned. You're looking at a photo here of her at the Actor Awards, which is the old SAG Awards. The cheeks are kind of sucked in, and people think that there's an alarming amount of weight loss going on. I think, again, what Cindy Crawford told me, nice name drop there, but years ago, I'll never forget it, is that beauty requires a certain amount of weight staying on, a certain amount of fullness, no matter what. Demi Moore is a beautiful person, beautiful woman, whatever. But yeah, I mean, she's definitely as skinny as I've ever seen. I always say people come to Hollywood to get rich, famous, and skinny, but the greatest of these is skinny. So I looked at, I looked at my old show, Access Hollywood, and their headline: Demi Moore stuns at the SAG Awards. It's not what people are saying or talking, but maybe it serves two purposes. They're stunned at how skinny, but I don't know. I mean, I look at old photos of Demi Moore. I had a huge crush on her. Steve, what are you writing here? Happening, developing.
Yeah, looks like Britney Spears was arrested and released over the night for a DUI. Just some people are asking about Britney Spears. Yeah.
This
So
right now?
it's just coming out. So
Britney Spears has been arrested for driving under the influence. Excuse me, I'm just going to say it right now. I don't mean to trump this thing, but I'm the only person when I was on Entertainment News who said, as soon as the Free Britney movement got their way and set her loose, I said, this is a terrible idea. This is a person who is not capable of managing her own affairs and taking care of herself. All these videos that we see, perhaps you've seen them, of her dancing, in a chaotic way with her makeup running down her face and her hair all over the place. And she's, I don't know, she's like swallowed an entire jar of Spanish fly, and she's just like oozing sex in front of the camera. It's sad, sad, sad. And she is in danger, and she is not okay. And these are things you should be able to say, okay? I know a lot of people that have been close to Britney over the years, and she has, I'm going to say allegedly here, a serious issue with Adderall, and Adderall dysregulates the brain completely. I have a dear friend married to one of my best friends who went through a major situation, and I know this to be the case. And, when there was that conservatorship, and you can say her father was a disaster, but the idea of a conservatorship is not a disaster. It kept her from her worst instincts. Now, they had to absolutely monitor her like a prisoner because she, desperately wanted to, looks like her Instagram is down or off. Yeah, of course. So listen, I'm friends with her manager, and he's just trying to do business with her, and everyone gives him crap because he's like, why aren't you saving her? And he's like, I'm alone here. Her family is a failure. You know what I mean? Her brother is a mooch. He was living with her, and now he's got all his demands, and he needs, help. And I feel so badly for Britney Spears, who's a national treasure. You know what I mean? We all grew up with her. We should have a hot mics experiment where we should have her move in here and we take care of her. I would take care of her like one of a fourth daughter. It's so sad. It's so sad. So anyway, Britney Spears arrested Wednesday night in SoCal. Booked early this morning, though the charge isn't clear, according to the Ventura County Sheriff's Office website. A message seeking comment was left with her representative, as well as the California Highway Patrol. I assume this is from TMZ. A different source. Well, what is it? Britney was arrested at 9:30 last night in Ventura County, released on this morning. Sheriff's Office saying she has a May 4th court date scheduled. That's today. Channel 7 local with that. Okay. So she'll be in court today. Jesus, God almighty. To the comment section we go. Billy, at the end of the day, we all control our own demise. Yeah, that's called accountability. Oh, Bushman, that is the sweetest thing for you ever to say. I think you mean about me taking in Britney. I would. I'm not kidding you. I'd take a shot at it. I'd be tough with her, too. If Britney moved into your house, it would end up like Eminem and Kim. No. I can tell you that would, no. No, Allie, by the way, my girlfriend Allie knows. I have a photo of Allie, and not long ago. I don't know if I should. Allie's gonna kill me, but I don't care. She's friends with Nikki Hilton, but she got together with Nikki, Paris, Britney, and Britney's manager. And I was like, okay, well, have fun. I'll see you later. Yeah. Britney likes cheap Southern wine. I forgot what's that Santa Rosa peach wine. She likes that. And I think the Adderall has always been a massive battle, and it is completely dysregulating, fries the brain. It is, I'm telling you, there should be a class action lawsuit looked into about what Adderall does. That needs to be seriously regulated in this country. It undoes people. Anyway, I feel terrible for Britney Spears, and I feel terrible for everyone around her who tries and fails to keep her from her worst instincts. And you know what? No part of me feels like, oh, look at Steve, you popped that one up there. Very brief. Very brief. No part of me feels positive, like, oh, this will be the one. This will be the time that they get her in, and she will be okay. And this will turn her life around. No, I have no confidence in that. There is no infrastructure around Britney Spears that should make anyone feel confident or hopeful that good things can happen. And you know what she needs? Conservatorship. Yes. Free Britney. All you people, you little wacky people running around with your posters that say hashtag free Britney. No. You set her out into well, look what we did for you. She is not an adult. I think she has the maturity development levels of a 16-year-old. This is like a Michael Jackson, in her, where she's never developed. And then you put a bunch of these allegedly Adderalls and things like that, and you get a fried, short-circuited brain. And this is not an indictment of her. I think she was chewed up by the system and failed. And I'm going to say I love her, and we all love her, and I would do anything I could to help her. I would. You know what? This is weird, but I kind of grew up with some of these younger people because I was in entertainment news for so long. I feel the same way about Justin Bieber. Now, he's not in this situation, I don't think, but I love Justin Bieber. He was a sweet kid. I remember sweet little Britney. I remember sweet little Taylor Swift. Okay. I remember Lindsay Lohan, little Lindsay. I always have a soft spot for Lindsay. And I think that suggests that I'm a normal person acting my age. I don't know. Britney. Oh my God, I love Britney. I'm going to text her manager right now. He's going to tell me to fuck off because he's busy. He sometimes he gets mad at me. He's like, but what are you doing? What can you do? I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm not accusing you of not taking care of her. You're just one person. He's trying. I will say that. He's trying. Her manager, and I'm keeping his name out of it. You can Google that quickly, but he's a good person. And he's trying. And he's alone. Okay? Where's the lawyer? Where's Rose Garden? Where's all the people that freed her? The Free Britney infrastructure. Where are you all now? The conservator, the whatever, the accountant, the lawyer, all these things. That's right. The father in me is getting upset. Oh my, I have kids who've been through situations like this that if they were left alone with bad parenting would be in serious trouble. So I've walked some of this walk. Love the empathy. That's why you are my fire. The one. Does she even need a manager anymore? Yeah, they sold the rights to that book, right? She got a huge advance for her book, The Woman in Me, or whatever it's called. I don't know who wrote that, but it's definitely not her. As we know, she's not capable of that. Interesting that Justin, oh, wow, this is good. I recently got HelloFresh. There's back. Interesting, Justin just had a DUI. Well, no, he had it in 2024. I think out in Sag Harbor in East Hampton, but Timberlake is definitely fighting right now to keep the DUI arrest video private. He doesn't want that getting out. He said it could cause irreparable harm to his reputation, which leads us all to assume that Timberlake has it might be a bit of a Reese Witherspoon moment, right? To the arresting officer. Because I remembered when he got arrested 2 years ago, the story, a year and a half ago, the story was that the arresting officer had no idea who he was. And he's a young guy too. It's not like some old man who's like, who's this kid? It's a young guy. I was like, I don't know who you are. Justin Timberlake. And so it might have been he might have been walked into a, do you know who I am moment. And the entitlement and all that didn't play well. But Justin, again, Reese turned it into a massive bonanza for herself. She buried it and moved on and was allowed to. And let's say that. People should be allowed to evolve, right? I mean, Jimmy Kimmel was jumping, had nude bikini-clad women jumping on trampolines, and he was wearing, he did blackface skits and all this stuff at the Man Show back in the day. But nobody called him out then, or they're just following instincts. And so, was it right? No, but you can't use today's standards to go back. If you didn't punish him then while he was doing it in your face, you can't today. And Jimmy Kimmel has been allowed to evolve. And he's dodged that. And then he dodged Trump coming after him. And FCC Chairman Brendan Carr. And the guy's never been bigger. He's just bigger and more relevant than any than since, Leno versus Letterman. So we'll look into Britney. Tucker Carlson, as you know, is chasing down the 378,000 tins of Alp Drifters, his new nicotine pouch. Can you believe that? They announced his new nicotine pouch, and less than 24 hours later, a truck carrying 378,000 tins of the new limited edition Alp Drifter gets hijacked, and the guy takes off towards Kentucky. Look at this. The driver just makes a run for it with millions of dollars of Tucker's nicotine patches. And now Tucker and his company are off, which, by the way, was run by his daughter. They're offering $100,000 for credible information leading to the conviction of the hijackers. I'm told that Sheriff Chris Nanos of Pima County is on the case. He will be leading the investigation into the recovery of the Alp patches. So everybody should be very comfortable. What could go wrong? Tucker, relax, take it easy, enjoy your weekend on the golf course or whatever. The pouches are coming home. Sheriff Nanos is on the case. You know what Sherry just said, Steve? Sherry said, I'd like to see the body cam video of Britney's arrest. If it's anything like her knife dancing videos, it's probably wild. You see, there's a curious voyeur in everybody. Sherry, I understand that. And if it came out, I'd look at it right away. But I have to tell you, I ache. I really do. I ache for Britney Spears. I have no interest in making fun of her in any way. This is not going to end well. Okay. Diddy could be out early from jail, blah, blah, blah. That's a disaster. Emma Thompson is among the stars backing funding to appeal to tackle gender-based violence. She's doing her thing. That's enough for me today, I think. I think I've spoken too much. And you know what? It'll be exactly 1 hour and 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're out like Let's have ourselves an amazing weekend. The Bushman is teeing off tomorrow. Closing thoughts, teeing off tomorrow in a member golf tournament with my friend Kai Sato. Is a great guy. Sato hits the ball 1,000 miles. He's got a very strong gluteus maximus. Okay, he anchors that rear end, and the glute activation and the turf interaction is just bam. And so we're heading into battle. I want a trophy. I'd like to win this tournament. Then I got to go to a thing on Saturday. It's a school thing. Allie's son goes to this little school, and they have their fundraiser, and she's like, please don't send me alone. So post-golf tournament, I got to behave, which is good. I got to go to a school fundraiser. Support. You know what that's called? Showing up. Continued prayers for her father, Wawa. We love Wawa. He's battling in there. Good news, and then a little slippage and all that. But her mom, Juju, is now on the scene. She's arrived from Palm Springs, and she's by his side. We pray for Wawa and little Juju, who's sitting next to Wawa. Juju and Wawa. Oh, I love you all so much. You upside-down pineappling animals. You beautiful people. Love Billy. It's sometimes he's zesty Bill. And I'm here for it. Oh, that's one of my favorite expressions. You must be a young person. People say, I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm here for it, baby. Keep going up. Here for it.